Greetings. This is Iris Peterson with Iris's Insights, finding a message in life's little moments. I bring you greetings tonight from Concord, North Carolina, where I'm attending the She Speaks conference, which is sponsored by Proverbs 31 Ministries. Today is July 25th, and it's actually the eve of my little brother's birthday. And every year that I think about his birthday, I am reminded of the day that he was born. It was a very um, emotional day for me. I was the only child up until the day that he arrived. I remember very vividly the preparations that were made as my dad was going to take my mother into the hospital for um, the scheduled arrival of my little brother. And that morning, before we could get ourselves together and he could get me where I was supposed to be and get my mom prepared and take her to the hospital, there was a knock on the door, and there was a woman who was very emotional. She was on her way to work that morning, and it was a foggy morning, and she was bearing bad news. She had actually um, ran over my dog, my pet, my best buddy, Tiny, and she was bringing news that he was no longer with us. My dad was trying to comfort me by telling me that, the Lord was going to bless me with a little brother or a little sister that day. And he was really telling me, just get over it. Your dog is gone, but you're going to get a little brother or sister. And I remember saying to him, I don't want a brother. I don't want a sister. I want Tiny back. Um, because of my grief, and I'm a little child, so it was probably a little extra. My dad did stop and allow us to have a graveside service for dear Tiny, and we had our moment. And then he took me to my grandmother's house and went ahead with to get my mom to the hospital to prepare for the birth of this new child. I stayed at my grandmother's house that morning. In the afternoon, I was with my aunt, and I remember everybody was excited that my mom had this baby, and in everybody's excitement, I looked around. I saw everybody was happy. There were a lot of children around that day, and I don't think I had ever felt that alone in my entire life. I was disappointed because no one, my parents weren't there with me. Of course, they couldn't be there because my mom was in the hospital. My dad was with her. I was 4 or 5 years old at the time. I'm hurt because my dog is dead. And then this was a special day because my dad used to pick me up um, and take me on Fridays. He would pick me up and take me to what was that? The Five and Dime at that time. We would get popcorn and chocolate covered peanuts every single Friday. So I'm at my aunt's house and I'm thinking, my life is horrible. I've lost my dog. I've got a little brother, and I didn't get my popcorn and peanuts today. I mean, what else could really go wrong? And I remember hearing a motorcycle drive up and all of this noise, excitement from my little cousins running out to greet my dad. And I walked out, and I remember not being excited. I was glad to see him, but I knew that somehow this little person who I had yet to meet had taken my place. And I remember seeing my dad get off the motorcycle, and he had a box that was on the back of the motorcycle where he carried, his belongings or whatever he needed as he traveled. And I remember so vividly that he got off the motorcycle and he went in the back, this box that was attached to the back of his back of his bike, and he opened it up and he took out popcorn and a bag that I knew was filled with chocolate covered peanuts. And my cousins were so excited because this was a treat for everybody. And when I saw that act, I knew that even though I had a little brother, and even though my dog was dead, I had not lost my place in my dad's heart. And I remember running toward him, and he scooped me up in his arms. And I knew at that moment everything was going to be okay. Um, my dog was gone. I had a new brother, but my dad had not forgotten about me. So tonight I want to encourage you, and I want to let you know that you may have experienced loss on some level. You may have lost a relationship. There may have been people who were once a vital part of your life who aren't a part of your life anymore, and you're still trying to work your way through that loss, and you still feel that pain. You may have gained relationships or gained people in your lives, and you don't quite know how to maneuver through all of that newness. But I just want to encourage you and let you know that in spite of what you're feeling, your Father still loves you. He still cares about you, and you're still as special to Him today as you were before you experienced that pain. He's simply waiting for you to come out to where He is, lift your arms, and allow Him to scoop you up and hold you, embrace you. Allow Him to put your head on His shoulder. As He places your head on His shoulder, listen to His heartbeat and allow your heartbeat to become synchronized with His. For your Father sees you. He knows your heart. He knows your pain. He knows your struggle. But most of all, He knows that you are His. Be blessed. Until next time. Take care.